Hello! It's been a while since I posted a video where I talk about stuff. Well, we have an Iceberg tier list for Killing Floor. I'm surprised no one made a video about it, but I guess I'll be the first person who uploads this video. I hope it turns out great because it's my first time making an Iceberg video. Shout out to the user Reptid for making this Iceberg. I tried to contact him via message to help me understand all the topics from the layers, but he never messaged me back. Asshole. So I was on my own for the research. Quick disclaimer, some topics in the Iceberg won't be talked about because I couldn't find anything about them. Alright, let's get this done. Wave 10. In Killing Floor 1 and Killing Floor 2, you can change the amount of waves you want to play from short, which is 4 waves, medium, which is 7 waves, and long, which has 10 waves. Killing Floor 1 has a custom wave option that allows you to specify the wave count yourself from 0 to 15 waves. If set to 0, you will immediately face the boss wave when the match starts. Z-Time. Z-Time is a gameplay mechanic in the Killing Floor franchise that slows down time temporarily. This is triggered randomly after killing specimens. The slowdown time allows you to better line up your attacks or just admire the gore flying around you. It also has an annoying tendency to occur when you're reloading and can take advantage of it. The idea for Z-Time came about when Tripwire Interactive president John Gibson woke up one morning and the first thing that popped into his head after he opened his eyes was slow motion zombie killing. AA12 is OP. A user from the Killing Floor Reddit community had a question about the players preferring the M4 over the AA12, which then another user replied. M4 takedowns are very versatile when paired with concussion rounds. 2 quick shots will stumble Skriks and 2 more shots will blow their head off. AA12 takedown can get a little messy, but AA12 is definitely a monster for killing trash compared to M4, which can get you killed when you get surrounded by crawlers and stalkers. Gunplay wise, M4 is very satisfying to be used in reload. Unless you can exploit the stumble M4, it really isn't that much better than AA12. Okay, about this one, I guess it depends on the person who wants to play it as a support, cause they're both good guns. So, I have nothing to say about this. Cosmetics on Killing Floor 2. Killing Floor 2 has a lot of cosmetics, even when the updates rolled out for the game along with bundles. A few examples are Commando Chicken Bundle, Pyjama Bundle, Cloud Backpack Bundle, Witch Hunter Outfit Bundle, and Space Pirate Outfit Bundle. Final Boss. The Patriarch appears after the final wave of enemies in survival mode in Killing Floor 1. He also appears at the end of the free official objective mode maps. In the objective mode of Transit, you actually face 2 clones of the Patriarch at the same time. Killing Floor 2 brought back the Patriarch, as well as introducing 4 more bosses: Dr. Hans Walter, King Fleshpound, the Abomination, and the Matriarch. Which boss the players will face is random each game. Killing Floor 2 released on consoles. The game was released on Windows PC and PlayStation 4 on November 18, 2016, then a year later on Xbox One. Here's a beautiful boy here playing the game on Steam Deck. KF Burning Paris. Burning Paris is the map from Killing Floor 2, which has the Eiffel Tower almost destroyed while burning from far away. I heard that it's sort of like West London from Killing Floor 1 because everyone likes it and it's a good well-rounded map. Leveling perks. In Killing Floor 1, to level up a perk, you must complete certain requirements to reach the next level, which can be a pain in the ass, especially if you're doing for Commando. In Killing Floor 2, perks can be leveled up to 25 and are given a choice between 2 different talents every 5 levels. This one is a little bit okay-ish in my opinion. Map kiting is the common tactic on Killing Floor 2. Kiting, it's a tactic of running in a large circle around the map to keep majority of the Zeds behind. Due to teleporting Zeds in Killing Floor 2, it's much more effective in Killing Floor 1 and is often used as a last resort when a camp is disbanded and few players are alive. Med Syringe. The medical syringe, also called the Med Syringe or the HM Tech Healer, is an item available to all perks in Killing Floor and Killing Floor 2. You can use it to heal yourself or other players, of course. The syringe has 100 units of healing available and they recharge quickly after use. It costs a full 100 units to heal yourself, but it only costs 50 units to heal other players, making healing others twice as effective as healing yourself. In Killing Floor 2, this is changed to still use the full charge but recharge twice as fast. In solo, the syringe is capable of healing 50 HP in a dose, but in co-op it will only heal 20 HP. Healing other players with the syringe will count towards leveling the field medic. The field medic also gets increased potency and recharge rate as they level up. Mods. Killing Floor has quite a few mods such as SCRN Brutal KF Bundle, Vehicle mod for Killing Floor 1, a Legacy Impact for Killing Floor 2, which brings back the early access impact sounds, and Halo weapon packs, just to name a few of them. Steam Workshop maps. Without the workshop support, Killing Floor 1 and 2 would be kinda boring. My favorite maps are CS Office from Counter-Strike, CSE State, the cabin from RE4, the whole map of Blood Gulch, Facing Worlds, Middle of Nowhere, and then this. Trader. The Trader is a character that supplies you with weapons, ammo, and armor in exchange for Dash. Here's an artwork of the Trader from Killing Floor 2. Welding or repairing doors. The welder is an item available to all perks in Killing Floor and Killing Floor 2. You can use it to seal and unseal doors. It has no weight and it cannot be dropped or sold. Welding counts towards leveling the support specialist or support, and they also get increased welding speed. Perk leveling maps. Perk leveling maps are maps made only to level up your perk, in case grinding for them isn't your option. Some of the maps don't even work, although I found 2 maps that work perfect for both Killing Floor 1 and 2. I'll put them in the description if someone wants them. Pyro on Killing Floor 1. The Pyro is a cross-promotional character from Team Fortress 2, available as a playable character in Killing Floor. You do not need to own Team Fortress 2 in order to play as him, as he was added for all players for free. You can choose his character either from red or blue. Abandon All. Abandon All is a soundtrack from the first Killing Floor made by Synthetic, which plays whenever the boss fight with the Patriarch starts. There's another version of it called Abandon All V3, which is the same song but goes much harder. It can be heard when playing the objective mode on Transit, where it will spawn 2 Patriarch clones almost at the end of the level. Combos. Combos are tactics used by the players for specific Zeds or just for quality in gameplay, such as reload cancelling and more. Check out these Killing Floor 1 and Killing Floor 2 videos for more in the description. Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is an American metal band from Seattle, Washington, formed by brothers Don Clark and Ryan Clark in 2000. They are the soul of the game's soundtrack, which works very well. My personal favorite song from them is Collapsing. Dosh. The Dosh is the name of the currency used in Killing Floor to buy guns. The first appearance of the term Dosh was from a music video made by Harry Enfield, along with his character named Loads of Money, which debuted in 1988, being the number 4 on the UK single chart, and became a meme afterwards. There's a freaking DLC for it called Harold Lot Character Pack, which upon having it in the battle, features a special cosmetic effect of leaving a trail of floating Dosh behind when he moves. And no, the Dosh cannot be collected. What are you, Romanian? Foster's Mask and Tie on TF2. Foster's Fake-In and Stockbroker's Scarf are promotional cosmetic items for the Pyro in Team Fortress 2. These items were awarded in vintage quality to players who purchased Killing Floor before December 14, 2010, and in unique quality to players who purchased during December 14, 2010 and January 4, 2011. Killing Floor lore. If you want a Killing Floor lore video, check out the Melee MP4, they do a better job than I do. KF West London. The one and only, ladies and gentlemen. Memorable map, funny British city, can I get a round of applause? Scrake flinch with katana. In Killing Floor 1, if you keep using a light attack towards his head, you can make him flinch forever until he dies. This works only for beginner up to hard difficulty. Tripwire Interactive new logo. This is their former logo used until 2015, and this is their new logo. Zeds are specimens. Yeah, they are. Some of the playable characters are also products of Horsing specimen experiments. That includes Security Officer Forn. Forn is a DLC character in Killing Floor. He is available to players who purchase the Nightfall character pack alongside Lee Barron, Mike Noble, and the popular Mr. Foster. Forn worked as a security for Horzine and volunteered for some unethical science experiments to get some extra dosh. He seems to be wearing a different color version of the Horzine Mark 7 armor worn by Agent Wilkes. Here's what the description says about him, and I'm gonna put my funny gold voice from the Fallout franchise.
Horsey paid the bills. The wife is happy because we can eat again. I get to drink again. I'm happy. Sure, I says. Experimental? What's it? Don't mind if I do. Should have seen it coming. Should have looked at the bigger picture. On the bright side, I can bend things real good now. Metal, bones, anything. And the rats, they throw me is tasty. I bet that science guy would be real tasty too. When I get out of here, I'm gonna have to tear off a little piece of him. Stupid science guy.
Zerg kiting. Berserker kiting, hence the name Zerg, are players who play as the specific perk but doing the opposite thing of kiting. Some people don't seem to like them as they can sabotage others and get them killed since the Berserker has damage reduction. Binds. Binds are what else you want them to be, changing your bind from asking for a medic by pressing E instead of using the speech menu and so on. Commando combos. In Killing Floor 2, players say that the AK-12 and Scar H are the best combo along with a med pistol, which is also good to keep the team alive. In Killing Floor 1, I don't know, I just used the FAL and the Scar as a combo, which works anyway. Demon Hunter is a Christian band. Yeah, they are. They are like a Christian metal band, such as Fit for a King, Impending Doom, and Living Sacrifice, which are in the soundtracks of Killing Floor 2 too. Gunslinger is OP. Here's another comparison between normal difficulty because beginner was no longer an option for them after Killing Floor 2 released, up to Hell on Earth difficulty with our best guess, the Matriarch. Gunslinger perk Origins. The Gunslinger was a new perk available in Killing Floor 2 that utilizes dual handguns. They were added to the game as part of the Return of the Patriarch update during early access. Hans is a Nazi. Born sometime in the 1900s in Europe, Hans became a scientist in Nazi Germany during World War II. Performing all manners of illegal and horrific experiments, Hans sought a way to extend his life beyond what a human could achieve. He is also a playable character in Road Redemption crossover, along with DJ Scully, and a baseball bat called Road Redeemer, which you can use in Killing Floor 2 if you bought the game. Harold Lot Origin. Again, Harold Lot is based on Harry Enfield's character Lord Zemani. The Lord Zemani character was created in reaction to the policies of the Thatcher government of the day. The song also spawned a sold-out live tour. In May 1988, Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock used the term loads money to criticize the policies of the Conservative government, and journalists began to refer to the loads of money mentality and the loads of money economy. In-game lore. All the maps from Killing Floor 1 and Killing Floor 2 have in-game lore when you join a specific map, which is kinda neat. Reminds me of the in-game lore from Counter-Strike 1.6. Insult players. Insult players are voice lines in the speech menu for whenever you want to communicate something with your team, such as
"You gormless tosser!"
and
"Oh, get on with it, plod!"
Killing Floor Calamity. Killing Floor Calamity is a top-down arcade shooter for the Ouya system and later ported to Android. Yeah guys, you remember Ouya? Yeah, me neither. The game was developed by Tripwire Interactive and Toadman Interactive. In Killing Floor Calamity, each perk has its own special ability you can trigger whenever it is off cooldown. Additionally, instead of having a weight system, you are instead limited to only carrying a sidearm and 2 primary weapons, along with your knife, armor, and grenades. In addition to each perk now being able to level up to level 20, each individual weapon can also level up, also to level 20. Enemies are also capable of dropping weapons for you. Additionally, you are now limited to a maximum of 3 healing syringes and must gather more from around the map if needed. They are automatically replenished between waves. Power-ups can also be found on the map, providing players with temporary buffs. All perks are capable of seeing enemy health bars, unlike other games where only the commando can. Damage numbers also pop up when you hit enemies. You do not have to visit the trader at the end of each wave, as a shop screen automatically pops up instead. Killing Floor 1 is harder than Killing Floor 2. From my opinion, yeah, kinda is hard sometimes, but that depends on your perk level and how many players are in the game, because the more they are, the more HP Zeds will have and spawn. It takes a little bit of training, but in the end it will be worth it. Killing Floor 2 graphics were downgraded. A user by the name of MeatPopCycle posted in 2019 on topic details for Killing Floor 2 about the graphics looking pretty bad, along with the flame effects to blood splatter looking almost last gen, plus periodically getting low frames. Another user replied with, Tripwire remade all the official maps to use static shadows. Previously, all the official maps used dynamic shadows and frame rate varied in a range of 70 to 90 FPS with max graphics, but with static shadows, official maps run at 140 to 160 FPS range with max graphics. That extra performance comes in handy during very heavy combat, especially in full games of 6 people, because if the game runs at 140-160 FPS during trader time, framerate is going to range from 100 to 120 FPS during heavy combat. And when dynamic shadows were used, the framerate even dropped below 60 FPS, which is absolutely not optimal at all. Ditching dynamic shadows for superior static shadows was a very good decision from Tripwire's perspective. I am going to take superior performance at the expense of barely noticeable graphical downgrade any day of the week. By the way, flashlight shadows can be enabled with Killing Floor 2 tweaker application by enabling ultra high quality shadows in graphics settings, but at the expense of minus 15 average FPS, not worth it. Matriarch. Matriarch was originally thought to be Kevin Clamley's wife, but it was revealed to be his daughter Rachel. The evidence of the Matriarch's existence was discovered in the trader's voice file ever since Killing Floor 2 was released in early access. Much like many features leaked during that time, she was planned in advance. Her introduction may have been delayed due to her true form mode being scrapped. Her overall mech suit appearance and especially her face guards is somewhat reminiscent to the Big Daddies from the Bioshock series. Here's a comparison between the summer slideshow skin of her and Big Daddy himself. Parry was broken on KF2 beta. When Killing Floor 2 was in early access, some people noticed that they couldn't parry Zeds when joining a server, either because of the ping or it just happened randomly in solos. I do wonder honestly how it will feel to play the game when it was in early access, since I've never witnessed it. Patriarch is Kevin Clamley. Kevin Clamley, who's the father of Rachel Clamley, is the Patriarch that you encounter in the boss fight. This is him before, this is him after, and this is him in Killing Floor 2. One source claims that the original Kevin Clamley was murdered by one of his own Patriarch clones, but it remains to be seen if that is true or not. Pipe bomb hat. A YouTuber by the name Falz made a tutorial video on how to make a pipe bomb hat in Killing Floor, where it explains how the angle is supposed to look while you're close to a wall. And yeah, you can stack up and become a living bomb for the Patriarch. Red Orchestra, Rising Storm references. Red Orchestra and Rising Storm are two realistic first-person shooters made by the same company set in World War II. They decided to release a digital deluxe edition for both of them. For example, if you bought the digital deluxe edition of Rising Storm, you would get two new characters such as Ricky Vegas and Hayato Tanaka, who also appears in Killing Floor 2 as a free character, along with the Tommy gun from the game itself. And if you bought the digital deluxe edition for Red Orchestra 2, you will get Nikolai and George Herman the German. If you want all of them, I suggest you buy the digital deluxe edition for Rising Storm, because it also gives you the deluxe edition from Red Orchestra 2, so you don't have to buy both of them. Ryan Clark and wife in Killing Floor 2 as a playable characters. What the fuck did I just read? I think we can call Donovan Neal as Ryan Clark, but I would lie, since he's wifeless. SCRN balance mod for Killing Floor 1. SCRN balance mod is a total conversion of the base game, which brings total rebalance of the game, adding new guns, new perks, not to mention they made the level of the perks from level 6 to now level 70, but with no grinding required. I didn't really try it because I got used to the vanilla version, but maybe I'll give it a try someday. The ball game cross promotion. Harcheers Pebbington is a cross promotional character from the ball who appears as a playable character in Killing Floor 1. There are two separate versions available, usually referred to as Harcheers Pebbington and Harcheers Pebbington 2. The original was exclusive to people who pre-ordered the ball and is the only character that is no longer possible to obtain. Harcheers Pebbington 2 is still available for anyone who owns the ball regardless of pre-order status. He's largely the same as the original, just missing the weapons on his back and such. The chainsaw is the worst melee on Killing Floor 1. The chainsaw is a melee weapon for the Berserker. No one uses it, that's the funny part, unless it's for the shits and giggles, because the moment they killed all the Zeds they can sell it and buy a katana, which is more reliable. It kinda made a comeback on Killing Floor 2 called the Eviscerator, a combination of the chainsaw and buzzsaw bow from the first game. The Stalker is a clone of Rachel Claimley. Stalkers are thought to be clones of Kevin Claimley's daughter, much in the same way that male Zeds are clones of his deceased son. That's pretty much it. Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is a 3D computer graphics game engine developed by BOTMCA Games, now known as Epic Games, which was first showcased in the 1998 first-person shooter video game Unreal. Just to name a few games that use Unreal Engine, these are Street Fighter V, BioShock Infinite, Ark Survival Evolved, Sea of Thieves, Mass Effect, and of course Killing Floor 1 and 2. Synthetic. Synthetic is the composer of the original soundtracks for both Killing Floor 1 and 2. He is also the voice of the Patriarch, and he even has his own YouTube channel in case you want to check it out. Beta KF2 main menu. This is how the main menu used to look back in the early access, not to mention there were only 4 perks: Berserker, Commando, Support and Medic. Even the music menu was changed, take a listen. Co-op survivor horror. The game is a co-op survivor horror, shockingly enough. It even stands under the Killing Floor 1 title in the store page. Killing Floor 2 is kinda more like a co-op survival horde shooter. Cut characters on Killing Floor 2. There is an announcement trailer video for the PlayStation 4 which shows 2 cut characters that were supposed to be in the game. The first character is Agent Wilkes, but he got scrapped and only his arm is available as a cosmetic gear, and the second character is Security Officer Thorn. Yoshiri replied to one of the users in the forums who wanted Thorn back, saying, "No, Thorn was a prototype for our character art pipeline early on. That pipeline has since changed and the work for that character was scrapped." Dirge. Dirge was a French band formed in 1994. From the industrial metal genre that exploded in the first part of the 90s, the band slowly evolved towards a more atmospheric and progressive form of metal, related to post-metal bands such as Neurosis, Isis, and Cult of Luna. Not much is said by the band as they broke up in March 2019. Here's a comparison between the Killing Floor version without the vocals and the one with the vocals.
Little child fiddling with strings, a fear of his own father forced him to cry. The tears of deepest anguish make him want to die. How you enjoy this? Sick.
Fire Axe is better than the katana. Compared to the other tier 2 weapons such as the katana or Road Redeemer in Killing Floor 2, the Fire Axe attacks slower but does more damage per swing. The Fire Axe secondary attack is a slower but highly damaging stun attack if it hits a Zed's head, making for an easier kill on medium Zeds. Firebug combos. A redditor by the name Spooky Crypto explained how a flamethrower plus range weapon is a good combo. Pause the video if you want to read. Flare gun is OP on Killing Floor 1. The flare revolver might be an abomination of a gun, since it has an ammo capacity of 128 and deals 125 damage. Oh, and you can dual wield them too. Hell on Earth soloing. Hell on Earth soloing is, of course, completing a short, medium or long wave in solo on highest difficulty. It is so hard that I played it by Biotic Labs on Suicidal as a support specialist and it was awesome. By the way, if you want to kill the Patriarch, I suggest you sell the DB Shotty and buy the AA-12 and pipe bombs. You can thank me later after you figure it out. Killing Floor started as a mod. The original version of Killing Floor was released as an Unreal Tournament 2004 Total Conversion mod in 2005 by Shatterlines Productions. Like the future retail edition of the series, it is a co-op survivor horror game against the waves of specimen from the Horse Corporation. Though early versions of the mod also included a short story mode, version 2.5 was the final version of the mod before the retail release of Killing Floor, though fans did later release up to version 2.52. The game was much darker and more creepy than the retail version, as you might expect. Killing Floor 1 DLC money was for funding Red Orchestra 2. The only thing I found was about Tripwire Interactive almost going into bankruptcy because of recycling old assets or such. The other one is from my own opinion that they probably made a lot of DLCs for Killing Floor 1 so they can fund the game. Killing Floor 1 Map Contest 2009. Killing Floor Grindhouse was a mapping contest for people who wanted to create their own community maps. The grand prize was $10,000. The map that won the first place was Icebreaker, the second place was Departed, and the third place was Crash. Killing Floor 1 Trader Death. A developer once claimed that the trader from Killing Floor 1 died in the explosion caused in transit during objective mode, but this has never been confirmed. The game itself gives no indication that she died, and she does not enter the facility with you and is last seen up above in the subway. Killing Floor 2 is a Christian game. I guess you could call it a Christian game since you kill Zeds, which represent, you know, some sort of demons along with the Christian metal bands. Just like the memes about Doom being a Christian game and such. KF Mod Campaign Mode. The version 1.0 of the game has campaign mode, but it requires Unreal Tournament 2004. You can check on Synthetic's YouTube channel for the gameplay or if you want to download the mod yourself. Melee combos with support. I don't know if it's talking about the melee combos that a support can do or if it's a combo with a berserker and support, so I'll take the second option. For example, if a Scrake is coming by and you have a berserker with a claymore sword, they can stun him while the support can kill him with either with the DB Shotty or the AA-12. I have no idea what else am I supposed to say about this topic, to be honest, so on to the next one. New Killing Floor 1 hitboxes update. Players complained about the hitboxes on some Zeds, example their head, not registering when shooting in the specific spot. Some were asking if Tripwire will ever fix headshots. Some say it's an old game engine which uses static hitboxes that don't always follow the character models. So I guess this is just a major skill issue for players that either started playing or they've been playing for a few months. Good news is that Killing Floor 2 has Unreal Engine 3 and the hitboxes are better compared to Killing Floor 1 which uses Unreal Engine 2.5. You get it? 2.5 gets KF mod 2.5, whatever. Old Killing Floor 1 menu. The only video I could find about the old menu of the game is from a YouTube video. There were only 5 maps when the game launched and you could have played only the default characters. Pipe melee on Killing Floor 1. A player said that he was goofing around on solo maps with cheats when he discovered a command called kfmod.weaponbat, which gave him a lead pipe. He said that it acts like a machete from what it appears. Another user replies that it was a removed item originally in kfmod version 1, replaced by a pipe late on the mod, converted them into retail game but then removed them for the machete. None of the links that he sent work. Tripwire forums. The Tripwire's official website has a forum section, that's all. What else was I supposed to say about this one? Tripwire got an Unreal Engine license on a contest. Back in 2004, Epic Games organized a video game development competition called Make Something Unreal. The competition partnered with companies such as Nvidia and Intel and provided competition winners with Unreal Engine licenses, cash prizes, and PC hardware. Notable games in the competition included Red Orchestra, Combined Arms, Angels Fall First, Planet Storm, and Antichamber. The grand prize for the best mod was awarded to World War II shooter Red Orchestra, developed by Tripwire Interactive, who earned nearly $80,000 in cash and computer hardware prizes over the course of the contest. The more you know! True Machete utility on Killing Floor 1. The machete can be found laying on the ground or bought from the trader. It is stronger than the basic knife that you start with, sure, but otherwise it's not very useful after the early waves of enemies, so yeah, the only utility is to sell it and buy something more powerful if you're a berserker. Z-spawn exploits. The only thing that I found was on Steam discussions about players doing exploits on Farm, Outpost, Volter Manor, and so on. I think it relies on camping so the Zeds can spawn closer to the player. Biotics Lab is under offices. Biotics Lab is actually located under offices. Even the description of the map states that. Biotics Lab was the origin of the Flesh Pound. Later versions of the original Killing Floor mod featured an intro cutscene in the Biotics Lab that showed the Flesh Pound being ejected and then going berserk and breaking free of its restraints. This is thought to be how the outbreak started, but it is unsure if this is still canon as the cutscene did not appear in the full version of the game, and by then it was established that Kevin Clamley was responsible for the outbreak. Demon Hunter never had a bad song album. I agree. Double barrel no reload exploit. The only thing I found was a glitch that made the AA-12 have no recoil. Farm is a Red Orchestra Ostfront map. Sewers was a map in the early versions of the Killing Floor mod. It is also featured in the game story mode as the third level of the game. It was the only map to be removed from later versions of the mod, and consequently the only map not to make it into the retail release of Killing Floor. Instead, it had Farm, which is a map from the Red Orchestra. Hell on Earth was added on an update. Hell on Earth was actually added on the Twisted Christmas 2010 update for Killing Floor 1 and Killing Floor 2's first release. This is the highest difficulty option. All Zeds have drastically increased health, speed, and damage. KF Mountain Pass unused music. Mountain Pass is the only Killing Floor map that doesn't have any music in the background when a wave starts, except when it's a trader time or when the Patriarch appears in the boss fight. Yeah, there's no unused music. Kinda makes me think why there's no music at all in the Mountain Pass, but oh well. Killing Floor 1 challenges. This has to do with the game being more challenging than Killing Floor 2, I guess? Oh, there's a YouTuber out there that makes challenges for himself like hard mode, no powerful weapons, or Hell on Earth Berserker only long wave. Killing Floor 1 graphics were downgraded. On the retail version of Killing Floor, version 1000, had dynamic shadows when you light a player with a flashlight, or Zeds having higher quality textures, 2048 by 2048, on the original version. These graphics were downgraded due to performance issues. Killing Floor 1 was made in less than 6 months. The full Killing Floor retail version was announced in March 2009. With the assistance of the original mod team, Tripwire will be the new developer. The game was released on 14 May 2009 after about 3 months of work by a crew of around 10 developers. Impressive. KF2 Beta Crawler. For whoever has phobia of insects, they are free to go. But this is what crawlers may have looked like in Killing Floor 2. They look like some sort of bug than the usual spider-human hybrid. Killing Floor 2 Gore System. Killing Floor 2 has a gore system called the Meat System, or Massive Evisceration and Trauma. It's kinda like the Source engine from Valve for Left 4 Dead 2. I'll leave the links of Part 1 and Part 2 from Tripire's YouTube channel, just in case someone is interested. OpenGL render is broken on Killing Floor 1. Direct 3D 9.0 gives you the best FPS, while the Direct 3D cuts your FPS in half for no noticeable reason, though it's still perfectly fine to play with. But the OpenGL nukes the FPS below 30 with stutter, positively awful experience all around, so yeah, I don't recommend OpenGL. Patriarch swearing. Patriarch never swears. I guess even for a Z he's still a Christian. Nah, just kidding. He does swear on the 2.53 of Killing Floor mod. After taking a certain amount of damage, the Patriarch will kneel and say, "You fucking assholes," and when he's ready to shoot with his rocket launcher, he says, "One in the pipe, you sons of bitches." Unpractical combo usage on real matches. This will probably refer to the public servers that either have suicidal or hell on earth difficulty selected. Just like I mentioned in the previous layer, the more players are in a server, the more HP and Zeds appear. People who choose to play are either brave ones or just masochists. Synthetic unused music. Synthetic back then had unused songs for the objective mode of Transit called Lost in Transit that didn't got released in the game. He managed to put them back and they are available on Steam Workshop. Gunpound. The Gunpound is an unused enemy found in Killing Floor 2.5's files. The Gunpound is a modified Fleshpound whose left hand replaced with a minigun. He has two attacks, minigun firing and a melee attack. He would use the minigun at the range, while the melee attack would be used if someone got next to him. Compared to the Fleshpound, his eyes are visible, his skin is lighter, and he has no yellow gauge on his stomach, so he will not rage. The Gunpound has two unique defensive features that the Fleshpound does not have. First, the Gunpound takes 50% less damage from explosives, such as including law rockets. Second, after taking a certain amount of damage, the Gunpound will be able to block incoming attacks with his gun arm. Attacks taken while his gun arm was up would do less damage than a regular shot would. His amount of health and attack damage is close to the Scrake and Fleshpound's. Kara. Kara Barnes was the first playable female character in the Killing Floor franchise. However, she only appeared in the original mod and never in any of the future releases, so her canonicity is in question. Her description is kinda interesting. Liverpool born, Sergeant Kara Barnes was an expert marksman by the age of 18. She joined up with the DRF after flunking out of school. When this all over, I'm going to settle down, have a family, then burn the fucking house down. Killing Floor mod double barrel law combo. In Killing Floor mod, a double barrel plus law is the best combo either against bigger Zeds or against the Patriarch as long as you have your teammates alive or close. Killing Floor mod main menu theme lyrics true meaning. Killing Floor mod has a main menu theme used for the version 2.0 and 2.11. I have no idea who made the song, but it sounds awesome. The only lyrics I found was like this: "You tried to fight your lies, face the facts you're gonna die. You deserve to," I don't know, I think he says fry or fight, "but you've got no choice, the end is night." I believe it talks about the mercenaries when they meet the Patriarch, or when they have to fight a lot of Zeds. Killing Floor mod trader is a blonde chick. In Killing Floor mod, instead of the trader we all know and love, there is a blonde girl who wears some sort of cultist outfit who provides us with equipment. Lewis is fat. This is Corporal Lewis from Killing Floor 1, and this is the Lewis from Killing Floor mod, bald, fat, and angry. That's what the mod description says about him. The one from Killing Floor 1 is kinda interesting. About a month before hell spilled onto the streets, Lewis was at risk of being relieved of duty as a result of his pudgy physique. Life or death situations tend to help with shedding the pounds, however, and he has since brought his body back to military standards. Not that it really matters. His commanding officer, and fat hater, was decapitated last week by some gurgling thing with no skin. The Scrake clone of a doctor. This is something that I never thought about it while playing the game. The Scrake's outfit from Killing Floor mod and Killing Floor 1 have the resemblance of a doctor, only one of them wearing a surgical mask. While in Killing Floor 2 he looks more like a butcher, having his surgical mask replaced with something made out of metal. True Killing Floor mod story is a mix of Hitman, Silent Hill and Resident Evil. I can only tell about the Silent Hill and Resident Evil. For Silent Hill it's the eerie and creepy atmosphere that Killing Floor mod has, and Resident Evil being that Horzin is just like Umbrella Corporation doing tests on humans. Unused LMG gun on Killing Floor 1 files. The .50 cal heavy is a scrapped weapon that was meant to appear in Killing Floor. It was scheduled to appear in both Killing Floor 1.0 and Killing Floor 2.0. It was meant to be a portable M2 HB machine gun that could be carried around. The idea was that the player could be able to put it on the ground anywhere. When on the ground, anyone could go up to it and use it to mow down zombies and defend the team's position. This is the only picture of the gun itself in first-person model in 2.0. Chainsaw was OP. The chainsaw in 1.0 is your typical chainsaw. It has two fire modes. The primary fire simply makes the user start slicing whatever is in front of the chainsaw. The alternate fire swings the chainsaw 180 degrees in front of the user, doing more damage to enemies and has the ability to hit multiple enemies with one swing. According to data found in the game, the chainsaw primary fire did 50 damage per blade, while the alternate fire did 190 damage and an addition 80 damage. Killing Floor mod art style changed on version 2.0. The version 1.0 of Killing Floor mod had the art style more grimy and ugly compared to the version 2.0, which was a little bit cleaner. The maps are West London, Biotics Lab, Offices, and Manor. Private Quick. Private Quick is a character that only appeared in the original mod and never in any future Killing Floor games. As such, his canonicity is in question. Additionally, he is the only character who was removed from the mod, as he did not appear in later patches. He was likely named after Alex Quick, a member of Shatterline Productions that created the original mod. He provided his likeness again for the Killing Floor franchise in Killing Floor 2. His face is on the Doge currency. Lab Pound. It's just the flesh pound used on the intro of the 2.0 up to 2.5 versions of Killing Floor mod, which for some odd reason it uses the crawler textures. Well, that's it. I want to thank everyone who stick up with me at the end of the video. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know what else am I supposed to say. Like, I've never done this thing, and I'm very sorry that I haven't talked about any topics. I hope someone in the comments is gonna tell. But yeah, I don't know what else am I supposed to say. I mean, it was an adventure for me. I hope you guys liked it. It's not everything that I do that much, since I barely post something on YouTube these days. It's just more for a hobby. So yeah. But I hope for when Killing Floor 3 comes out, I'm gonna upload the gameplay about it, so you guys can see it. I started playing Maneater a few days ago, and it's kind of funny though. It's made by the same company, of course, but it's kind of alright. It's repetitive, of course, but I don't mind. It's alright. Not to mention, I want to give a big shout out to the whole community of Killing Floor. Either it's on Reddit, Twitter, or whatever, YouTube. And I would also like to give a shout out to Pathfinder. Notice me, you motherfucker. Also, if it happens, and I hope it happens, if there's gonna be another YouTuber who makes another Iceberg with Killing Floor, the moment that Killing Floor 3 releases and we have to wait like 3 months or a lot of years until he finishes it, I hope I'm gonna see it one day, so please make it happen. I'm really intrigued. So yeah, anyway, make sure to do not subscribe and make sure to hit this like. I am out of here. Goodbye.